Hey VC, Kimbo here. Wanted to come at you with my top 20 for the year of 2020 so far. It's been a great year for music. I wanted to share that with you guys. It was tough narrowing it down to 20, but been working hard on that the last week, and I don't have everything that's come out, but I got a few things in the mail, but I'm just gonna count what I have so far and go through those. And remember, this is my top 20. My bad taste in music is well documented, so it may not be your top 20, but feel free to comment in the notes below what you think. And let's see. These are roughly in my top 20 order. Some of the spots are kind of iffy, and some of these have come out fairly recently. I've only given them a few spins, but that's where I'm at so far. So, starting with number 20, it's going to be the release from Morrissey earlier this year. It's around his 15th or 16th studio album. Good album of his. I think some of the highs are higher and lows are lower than some of his previous albums, but Morrissey in at number 20. At number 19, Jason Isbell and the 400 unit. I believe this is their 5th or 6th release. Good solid album. Not as good as some of the previous works, but still a very solid album. Number 18, the combination of the Flaming Lips and Deep Valley, the Deep Lips album, kind of rock psych, the first working together from those two. Coming in at number 18. Coming in at number 17, Ozzy Osbourne's Ordinary Man. I was actually very surprised at how good this album is. The instruments, the guitar, everything's real good on it. Real good effort from Ozzy on that one. And moving to number 16. Number 16, the Crobin release. I believe this is their 5th studio album. I think some of their best stuff that they've put out so far. If you're not familiar with them, kind of funk, soul, funky stuff. Next, at number 15, is the Black Rainbows, an Italian modern psych band. Does a lot of heavy fuzz and distortion guitar work, and I believe this is their 9th studio album from the band from Italy. At number 14, we have the posthumous release from Matt DeMarco, Circles. I think some of his better work that he's put out in the last few years. Probably his best album since Divine Feminine. A real introspective album. Really enjoyed it. All right, at number 13, we have the recent release from Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Real solid album. Some really good writing on this. Really enjoyed it. Most of you are familiar with Fiona Apple. And the next one, I think most of you are familiar with also. Bob Dylan, Rough and Rowdy Ways. Real solid album. Real, a lot of kind of almost spoken word stuff on it, but great stuff from Bob Dylan on that album. Sorry, I'm rearranging my albums. Okay, moving into, what are we on here now? Number 11. Number 11 is the female group from Los Angeles, California. San Fernando, California. Their 3rd studio album from Haim. I think some of their best work, definitely up there with their best album. Very good album. At number 10, Perfume Genius, the artist from Seattle. 5th studio album, kind of indie / art rock. The genres kind of fluctuate from song to song in here, but real good alt pop rock from Perfume Genius. At number 9, I gotta thank Logan for this. I didn't even know these guys had an album out this year, and they have 2 albums out this year. Acid Mother's Temple, and this one is the Reverse Rebirth Reprise. And they also have a Invisible Eyes and Phantom Cathedral album out this year, which I don't have that one yet. But if you like fuzzy guitars and distortion, you will love this stuff. Typical Acid Mother's Temple, who puts out about 2 albums a year since they started back in '96 approximately. I think this has 3 songs on it. 1 song takes over the whole side of the album. Next is number 8, and that would be the 6th studio album from Waxahachie, from Waxahachie Creek, Alabama. Folk, indie rock, and she just gets better and better, I think, with every album, and this is, I believe, her best work to date. Next is the latest album from the Nashua, New Hampshire native, Ray Lamontagne. Monovision. I think this is like his 10th studio album. Singer, songwriter, folky country music, but really good stuff. This is actually the first time I discovered his music, so I'm definitely digging into his back catalog. Really good stuff.
Give me a sign, you give me a lift, take me home when I'm done my shift. You give me a loan when I'm stone cold broke, get me high when I need a toke. I was born to love.
Next at number 6, we have HMltd, Happy Meal Limited, which is a band out of the UK, kind of indie pop, art rock, glam rock a little bit. These guys have a real unique sound, really well produced. Really enjoy this album. What's the name of that one? Oh, it's called West of Eden. Okay, at number 5 is Marcus King, El Dorado. This is his first solo album. Very southern blues, southern rock. Artist out of South Carolina. But great album. If you get a chance, pick that one. Okay, number 4, band out of Austin, Texas, Holy Wave. This album is called Interloper. Kind of modern. This is also kind of modern psych rock, alt rock, indie rock, but some real inventive stuff coming out of these guys on their 4th studio album. At number 3, we have the 5th studio album from the duo out of New York State, Phantogram. Let's see, they call them pop rock, but there's kind of some soul stylings. They almost jump. There's a whole mix of genres on this album, but really inventive stuff, great stuff. Similar to the next album you're gonna see, it's a little bit all over the place, but comes together really well. At number 2, the latest album, 7th studio album from Coco Rosie. Put the Shine On. Really good album. I don't know if it's their best work, but these guys are amazing. These two sisters, stuff they pulled together is a little bit all over the place, but mostly alt pop rock. Some soul, some hip-hop type stylings on here also. Really interesting background story on these two. If you ever get a chance to read up on how they grew up, how they got separated at childhood, how they came back together and started creating music. Really interesting story.
When you first laid eyes on me, did you never want to put me down? Was it one more to you than any girl in town? Any girl in town? You tear my hair, all my shoes made up to you. I'm made up to you. I love you, I do, I guess. And you're so handsome, I get to see you still.
So coming in at number 1B is the self-titled album from the supergroup, the Third Mind. This album is heavy with guitar, a little bit blues guitar, sight guitar influenced album, but great album at number 1B. Okay, and then at number 1, should be no surprise to anybody out there, but the, I believe, 11th studio album from the band from Seattle, Washington, of course, Pearl Jam, Gigaton, my number 1 album of the year so far. So that is it. That is my top 20 albums. If you think I missed something or something else I need to hear, go ahead and put it in the notes. It's been a great year so far for music, and I believe the second half is going to be even better, so I can't wait. Hope everybody out there is doing great, and we will talk to you later.